The Monsters and Killers of Ghost Ranch. Ghost Ranch, located in Abiquiú, New Mexico, has its fair share of interesting stories. The 21,000-acre retreat was once the home and studio of modernist painter Georgia O'Keeffe, who was infatuated with the barren landscape featured frequently in her art. The area is also an important paleontological site with an impressively high concentration of dinosaur fossils. And Ghost Ranch's stunning red rock landscape has been the backdrop of numerous popular films, including Red Dawn, 1984, Wild Wild West, 1999, No Country for Old Men, 2007, and 3:10 to Yuma, 2007. Today, the ranch is a retreat and education center run by the Presbyterian Church. But the Christian retreat that promises to enrich your mind, body, and soul was once the homestead of a pair of brothers who didn't strive to accommodate their own guests in quite the same way. The Archuleta brothers, West American serial killers. The Archuleta brothers, drawn to one of the few water sources in the area, moved to the then vacant ranch during the late 19th century. Here they let their cattle roam and built cedar and adobe houses for themselves and one brother's wife. Because of the isolated location and the convenient water source, other cattlemen would pass through and ask the brothers if they could stay the night. Allegedly, many of these cattlemen would disappear, and their horses, goods, and cattle would mysteriously come into the possession of the brothers. All signs pointed to serial murder. The murders were believed to have been committed by luring the unsuspecting cattlemen up the surrounding cliffs and pushing them off or, alternatively, pushing them into the well on their property. This seems counterproductive considering the general lack of water sources, but I guess these things matter less when you murder for sport. Some claimed to hear the cries of the brothers' murder victims if they wandered too close to the ranch. Others say the brothers purposely spread a rumor that their ranch was haunted in order to keep busy locals and law enforcement away. Allegedly, the brothers hung dummies from the trees in order to send a warning to anyone who approached. Because of this, the ranch was given the name Rancho de los Brujos, or Ranch of the Witches, by the local community. After a dispute over buried gold, one of the brothers killed the other, an act that isn't unheard of when it comes to serial killer duos. Seeing an opportunity to reclaim the area, locals rode to Rancho de los Brujos and hung the remaining brother from a cottonwood tree, putting an end to the Archuleta murders once and for all. It wasn't until 1928 that the name of the ranch was changed to Ghost Ranch by Carol Stanley, the ex-wife of Roy Faffel, who had won the deed to the property during a poker game. The name is fitting considering the strange paranormal rumors that Ghost Ranch can't seem to shake. Viveron and the creatures that haunt Ghost Ranch. The daughter of one of the Archuleta brothers came forward years later and confessed she had seen 6-foot-tall humanoid creatures covered in red hair that would crawl out of the sand and scream like tortured children. She dubbed these terrifying monsters Earth Babies. And her father had sworn he'd encountered a winged cow on numerous occasions that was actually a witch in disguise. It seemed that despite the brothers starting rumors of hauntings, there was some suspicion within the family that the ranch really was haunted. Most famously, the ghost of a 30-foot-long rattlesnake demon known as Viveron was said to haunt the area around Huerfano Mesa, a sacred Navajo mountain. Viveron would hide during the day in the tunnels under the mountain and emerge at sunset to commence its nightly hunt. And according to some versions of the story, Viveron's favorite food was children. In 2016, a new species of reptile was identified at Ghost Ranch. The reptile has been named Viveron after the snake demon and was identified as a new species of Roajuchid, a distant relative of the modern-day crocodile. Viverons were between 12 and 18 feet long and lived in the area of Ghost Ranch around 212 million years ago. Roajuchids were some of the largest and most dangerous carnivores in Pangaea during the 16-million-year-long Triassic period, so it's fitting that this new Roajuchid was named after baby-eating Viveron. To celebrate the discovery of the new Roajuchid, Guinness World Records cheekily awarded Viveron the distinction of being the oldest ghost ever recorded. The ghost of a 200-million-year-old reptile certainly puts any spirit haunting an old Georgian manor to shame. So if you're a paranormal investigator who's tired of the same old boring poltergeists and spectral children, perhaps ghostly prehistoric reptiles can be your new calling.